Alright, I like to start these from the very beginning. That way, if you have not already done so, you can look below this video in the description box and find a link for this program, Stellarium. It's free. There's a PDF manual on how to use it, a link for your Android, your Linux, your iMac. Just get the hookup. When you first launch Stellarium, launch the bottom taskbar. Coming from the right to the left, we're going to come across here to the meteor showers and turn that off. In the next set of symbols, you'll see a lightning bolt. We're going to turn that one on. Then we're going to come across to the atmosphere, the cardinal points, and the landscape, and turn all that off. In the last set of symbols, you'll see a little running man icon. That's our images. Going to the left-hand taskbar, all the way to the top, 8-pointed star is always a symbol for navigation. It's ruled by Mercury. Let's see if it'll put Harlow in for us. Yes, indeed. Click on the name of the city. Make sure the red arrow's in the correct place. Then come back down to that little running man icon and make sure the name of the city is over his head. Then we can X this box out. Coming back to the left-hand taskbar, right below the star to the clock icon. Our target date is June the 2nd, 1974. And just hold down on the tab. And our time is 16:30. Alright, coming back to the left-hand taskbar, to the search tool icon, type in the sun, and off we go. Taurus, beautiful Taurus, on the fixed cross, in the right hand of Thalum himself. Okay, you're on the fixed cross. Your ruling planet is Venus. We're going to just take a quick look where everybody's at. Saturn conjunct Mercury in Gemini. Saturn, Gemini will be your lesson. Mars also in Gemini, thankfully. Mars in Cancer would have been a problem. Uranus and Pluto both are going to be in mutable Earth, Virgo. The moon on the cardinal cross in Libra. The moon's at 95.2%, and I'm going to say waxing. Yes, waxing moon. When the moon's by itself like that, that means you're either what I call an only child or a lonely child. The moon represents how other people see you, which is funny because your sun is in fixed Earth. Let's see if I can get both of them in. My mouse just does what it wants to. Oh, come on. I might have to stop and change mouses. Alright. See if we can get them both in. Your sun is in fixed Earth, ruled by Venus. Your moon is in cardinal air, also ruled by Venus. Your sun is masculine in a feminine house, and your moon is feminine in a masculine house. Venus, your ruling planet, the heart chakra, is torn between Libra, heaven, and Taurus, earth. She's divided, and you've kind of got the bases covered there. Very interesting where your sun and moon are. Jupiter in Aquarius. I like Jupiter there. Jupiter don't really care to be there, but I like Jupiter there. Venus in Aries, thankfully. Your Mars and your Venus got lucky, because both of them are on the cusp of the signs they're debilitated in. Venus is debilitated in Pisces, and she just made it out. Mars is debilitated in Cancer, and he just didn't make it in. So really lucky on both of those. Let's check your rising sign real quick. The way we do that is turn on the landscape and the cardinal points and go find east. That's west. So you're Virgo rising. Let me... Is it here? Yes. You've also got Spica on the horizon, which is a particular star. So you're not just Virgo rising, you're Spica rising. And Spica is the undefended one. Before we go any further, I want to suggest that you stop this video right now and get you a pencil and piece of paper and get ready to take some notes. Get this all back where we're going. So your moon is cardinal air, your rising sign is mutable earth, and your sun sign is fixed earth. So earth magic is pretty powerful for you. You've got a lot of earth and air going on. You've got Mars, Mercury, Saturn, Jupiter, and the moon all in an air sign. You got Venus in that fire. Alright, we're going to start with the outer planets. I want to talk about the outer planets for a second. This is where you're going to need to start taking notes. I'm going to recommend a playlist I have called Jeffrey Wolf Green. You need to watch that playlist. But he also wrote a book. I don't have it, or I'd give it to you. You can probably get it on Amazon. And it's called Pluto, Journey of the Soul. Even though he talks about Pluto and all the constellations, he really targets Pluto and Virgo. And it really is the mutable cross, and those on it are with planets in it. Especially Pluto or Uranus being on that immutable Earth. It's very prevalent for now. Pluto and Uranus are generational markers. Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune are not connected to any chakras, nor do they rule any houses of the zodiac. I don't care what other astrologers say. Their alchemy moves too slowly. Pluto, you might get a Pluto return once in your life if you live to be very old. Their alchemy is different. They're more like the fates or the destinies. They're planets of transformation on a big scale. Transmutation. Now, Pluto is considered the subconscious mind and works with Saturn in the non-physical world. Uranus is considered the conscious mind and works with Jupiter in all things physical, where Neptune is considered the imagination. They're the three parts of the way we function, and on the big picture in a very collective conscious way and in a generational way. Now, Pluto and Uranus will affect you in your life for transformation when they're on the mutable cross or when they're in an earth sign. Currently, Pluto is on the mutable cross and Sagittarius. This is mutable fire. And then Pluto will, in 2020, moves into an earth sign. So the reason your generation was born is for now. And it's for change of earth. Pluto here in Jupiter's house of ideology. The way Uranus and Pluto work is when they come into a sign, they're going to take stuff away. So that they can give you something new. It's like we're all only allowed so much. So Pluto here in ideology is he's taking away old way of thinking. He's the subconscious, so it's really doing your shadow work. Example, it's like growing up and being told about Santa Claus, and then we find out Santa Claus is not real. Or growing up in the church, and then we find out it's just bibble-babble interpretations of dogma, and that they really do nothing but pull us to the pit and alter us and fleece us. So we leave the church, but we still carry the same programming, the same prejudices and way of thinking that was programmed into us while we were there. And so you have to take away the old. This is philosophy and ideology to bring in something new. And the something new will manifest in 2020 when Pluto moves into Capricorn. On the winter solstice of 2020, Saturn and Jupiter meet. That's the biggest generational marker of all. When Saturn and Jupiter meet, the door to the Black Lodge opens. The Black Lodge is the subconscious mind, and Pluto rules it. So collectively, especially your generation, because it is Pluto from one earth sign to another earth sign, it's your time for manifestation. And y'all are going to manifest what's in the subconscious mind. I call that the monsters of the id. If you don't know what that is, watch the movie The Forbidden Planet. It will explain the monsters of the id. The trick here is to do your shadow work, to purge the subconscious while Pluto is here in Sagittarius. I'm going to send some charts with symbolism on it. Learn the symbolism. The subconscious does not deal in language. It deals in symbology. It doesn't understand language. And symbols are prevalent throughout the world. And they're all the same in alchemy around the world. The problem is what's been given to us through media outlets is perverted imagery. Like they take Pan, the goat man, right? Pan is Saturn. He's the goat and the man, Aquarius and Capricorn. They inverted him, perverted him to Baphomet, so he's the man goat, right? So learn the correct symbolism. That way, the magic spell doesn't work on you collectively. The trick is to be able to manifest from the imagination instead of the subconscious, or to have what you call a clean conscience. Now, Uranus, the other planet of transformation, is currently also on the mutable cross. Lucky for you, in less than a month. We're looking at maybe 2 or 3 weeks. And Uranus, this planet of transformation in the physical world, will leave you alone for almost 5 years. In 2024, Uranus will move into an earth sign, which will affect you in 2 ways. 1, it's in an earth sign, and 2, it's your first house. So expect big change in your life to be coming 2024, beginning in 2024 through 2028. Now, both of these planets, like I said, they're planets of massive transformation. But they're slow, subtle, and they're going to give you all the time in the world to do it yourself. When they come into a house that affects you, you need to do the alchemy for that house. If you don't do it, they're like a rubber band now. They're just going to stretch and stretch. They're going to give you all the time you need. But when they get ready to leave, if you haven't done that alchemy, they're going to do it for you in a single day. Alchemy is change, right? You're changing something, you're mutating it, so it becomes something else. Uranus in the physical world. In an earth sign, it can be an earthquake. In a water sign, it can be a flood up to a tsunami. In an air sign, it can be a tornado. In a fire sign, it can literally be fire, volcano, off the charts. But it'll be something that will drastically change your life. Pluto in the non-physical world is the same way. You go and buy a house and you're on top of the world, and then you go to work the next day and you lost your job. Or you're going to meet the person you love the most in the world, and you get a phone call that they've been in an accident and they're on their way to the hospital and they don't expect them to make it. Shit that just really rips the rug out from under your life, tears down paradigms, and forces you to change. It's both of them work kind of like this. We can do it the easy way, or we can do it the hard way, but we're going to do it. So heads up on both of these planets when they get ready to leave a sign. Let's see if Pluto is retrograde. Now, how we do that is we come over here to the logistics, and you'll see ecliptic longitude latitude J2000.0. Our numbers are 1842711.3. We're going to watch the 2711.3, and we're going to kick it up a day. and the numbers decreased. So you definitely have a Pluto retrograde. Now, like I said, the outer planets are not connected to the chakras, so this energy is actually in your favor. Pluto retrograde. You win arguments you do not deserve to win. Most Taurus people do anyway. They're bullheaded. They stick to their guns. They're part of that immovable race of humanity. So you win arguments you don't necessarily deserve to win. Let's check Uranus retrograde. Our numbers are 204, 22216. We're going to watch the 22216. Yep, 2 retrogrades. Uranus retrograde. You're rebellious. Not only are you bullheaded, you're rebellious. This can be harmful. It's great to know when to rebel and to be able to say no, to be confident in oneself. But where Uranus is concerned and that mutation, if you fight the change, I know we don't like change. Once we get our life in a certain way, we just want to nail it down, and we don't want things to change. We're happy now. But if that change is not done and you rebel against it, this is one of those cases where you get the flood, you get the tornado, you come home, your house is robbed, or just whatever that sign. Currently, Uranus is in a sign of people of association. So people just start disappearing in your life. The people you work with, go to school with, go to church with. So this can be really drastic. It's good to be rebellious, but don't be rebellious against the change. Go with it, make your own choices. Now to Neptune. Neptune has a couple of jobs. He is the imagination, and we think imagination, that's something you can't touch. So we look at Neptune as working with Saturn in the non-physical world. And he does, but Neptune also works with Jupiter in the physical world. As the imagination, he's the go-between. To manifest in the physical, you start in the etheric with the imagination. Now, Neptune's alchemy works like this, because it is a manifestation alchemy. When he's in the same element or on the same cross as Saturn, you'll have these great ideas that can just really change your life and even humanity. And as Neptune begins to move, you'll work on those ideas. And then when he comes in the same element or on the same cross with Jupiter, those ideas will manifest into the physical world. Now, these conjunctions and lineups can take years and decades to happen. There are times that we find Saturn, Jupiter, and Neptune all in the same element or all at the same cross at the same time. In that case, it can go from years and decades to weeks and months. If we find Saturn, Jupiter, and Neptune all in the same house at the same time, the manifestation can be instantaneous. Like the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction in 2020 with Pluto manifesting from the subconscious mind. If Neptune were there, we would be manifesting from the imagination. If Uranus was part of that conjunction, we would be manifesting from the conscious mind. Neptune has another job, but we'll get back to that momentarily. Is Neptune retrograde? Our numbers are 248, 29502. We're going to watch the 29502. Yep, 3 in a row, retrograde. You have an overactive imagination, which is good. Now, a lot of people want to associate Neptune with Scorpio, the water sign of Scorpio. They want to tell you that Neptune rules Scorpio. He doesn't. And he doesn't rule water. He rules no element. It's the imagination. But he does have a lot of traits. The imagination has a lot of traits that are similar to that of Scorpio. So if we say Neptune had to be exalted in a particular house, it would be this one. This one or Libra right next to it. And they used to be one sign, because it is the imagination. And this one, it's very passionate and sensual and creative, and So you have a very creative imagination anyway. This is a bonus. Now, Neptune retrograde, the overactive imagination, everything has a duality to it. In childhood, this can manifest as people think you have a learning disability. You're not paying attention. You're off in your head. You're staring out the window and you're a million miles away in your head while everything else is going on. You don't have a learning disability. It's just you learn in a different way. In adulthood, this can manifest as you're having a conversation with somebody and you're looking them straight in the eye and they're just chattering away and you're going, yeah, you're acknowledging them 100%, but you're not hearing anything they say. You're gone. You're somewhere in your head. Now, the benefit of this is 2020. If you can do your shadow work with Pluto, you have the possibility as a gift here with an overactive imagination to actually override Pluto and manifest what I call your daydreams, because that's what's going to happen in 2020. As personally and collectively, we're going to manifest the next 20 years of our lives. And it's going to be done, we're either going to manifest our nightmares, the monsters of the id, or our daydreams. Neptune retrograde. So kudos on that one. If you're going to have planets retrograde, you want them to be the outer planets. Again, Neptune has another job. We'll come back to that. We've done the outer planets. I want to move to the inner planets. Mercury, Mars, and let's get Venus in the picture, and we can peg all them for a retrograde. We don't have to look at the logistics. They move fast. So all we got to do is kick it up a day and see if they move forward. So Venus, yes, not retrograde. Mercury, not retrograde. Mars, not retrograde. That's excellent. Outer planets retrograde, I actually think it's in your favor all the way around. You might be rebellious and you win arguments you don't deserve to, and you've got one hell of an imagination. To me, that's good. That's healthy. It's good. Mercury rules Gemini. This is cardinal air. Mercury, Saturn, and Venus rule all air signs and all earth signs. Mars and Jupiter, along with the sun and the moon, rule all water and fire. Mars and Jupiter is that battle of fire and ice with the sun and the moon. Mercury here is Buddha. This is the age of Viracocha, Lord Pakal. He's Hermes Trismegistus. He's Thoth. He's Buddha. This is a very hermetic sign. And Mercury is the messenger, right? And Mercury acts different ways in different signs. Mercury here is the messenger. He brings the message and he lays it down for the future. The emerald tablets of Thoth, the hieroglyphics, the writings of Confucius and Buddha, that's all been preserved through the ages. Sometimes like Mercury in Sagittarius, he would be more of a thinker, right? Very philosophical. Mercury in Scorpio would be like the silver-tongued devil, right? But here he's Buddha. He's got wise sayings. Mercury rules logic and intelligence. So he's in his own house. This is the house of Hermetics. This is all about Hermetics here. Hermes Trismegistus. Alright, so great placement for Mercury, and especially not retrograde. But it's going to be part of your lesson because he's conjunct Saturn. We'll talk more about both of these in a minute. Let's go to Venus, the heart chakra. You know, Venus rules Taurus here. And the Pleiades is called the flock. And the flock comes out of Egypt, Taurus, Africa, into the next age of fire in Asia. And the people went from serving Venus on earth to literally serving Venus in heaven. Moses told them they had to look upon the fiery serpent on the pole, to the bronze serpent on the pole, to be healed from the serpents that bit them in Egypt. And it was a way of looking at Venus as Isis here, or as Lucifer in Libra. Here, heart chakra, very fiery, very passionate. She rules this house and the opposite house of Aries. Right? She rules the opposite house of Aries. In Libra is opposite of Aries. She's that fiery serpent on the pole. Now, like I said here, this is a very fiery, passionate heart. This is cardinal fire. That's the big fire. Out of the fires, this one is the most powerful one. And it's in Mars's house of war. So it's very, your heart, is very passionate, very fiery, and can even be warlike. When you think about Libra, that's about balance and harmony. Opposite. So this is about disharmony, imbalance. But, this is a fire of purification. And it does one of two things. It either, purifies you in one of two ways. You either go with it and you're purified through passing through the fire, or the troubles and woes and sorrows, or it burns you to the ground. And then you got to become the phoenix out of the ashes. So very passionate. Goes right along with being bullheaded. The heart and the head working hand in hand, heart and head. Alright, Mars in Gemini. So this is your actions, your root chakra. First thing we notice, you're not grounded, right? Anytime Mars is on the mutable cross, your root chakra is not grounded, and it can be seen as bipolar. Now, this would be more bipolar on the aggressive side, because it's on the masculine axis of the mutable cross. Had it been Pisces and Virgo, it can be more a victim mentality, right? The being victimized. But here it is aggressive, but to the extreme. It's like when you're happy, you're really, really happy. But when you're sad, you're really, really sad. To me, Mars here is like, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it right. Or, I'm not going to do it at all. He's either in or out. There's no middle ground. Everything is black and white. Alright. Now to Jupiter. Is Jupiter retrograde? Sometimes we can see. Yeah, no, not retrograde. Jupiter is your desires and your beliefs. And he is literally conjunct Fomalhaut. This is this Aquarius characteristics is alchemy. It's astrology. It's karma. It's the law of equivalent exchange. You reap what you sow. And that's your belief system. So you're on the fixed cross. And your belief system is on the fixed cross. Literally conjunct the lamb. Thalem. The lamb. So great placement for Jupiter as far as I'm concerned. Jupiter doesn't do well in air signs, but he's weak here, right? He rules Pisces. This is Saturn's house. But your desires are benevolent. This is a place that Jupiter is considered benevolent. He's wicked in his own house of Pisces. We see that clearly. Saturn. This is your lesson in what it's all about. Right off the bat, is he retrograde? Our numbers are 9507235. We're going to watch the 07235. Thank goodness. No, he's not. Excellent job on just catching the outer planets retrograde. That's almost like a gift to have those retrograde, but none of the inner planets. Okay. So, Saturn rules astrology and alchemy from Aquarius. This is his magic circle. You're your sun sign. People see you as your moon sign. And then there's your rising sign. But this is his circle. And it's his lesson. And he sets it up in such a way. We talk about what he wants you to learn here is Gemini, which is Hermetics. And it has to do with speech and your actions. This is somebody you would say, if you do what you say. You say what you do and you do what you say. Right? And this is going to be, this is your lesson. And it has to be done hermetically, which is, it's almost like kung fu. The word kung fu comes from a meaning that you do something over and over and over again till you can do it in your sleep. That you perfect it, you master it. Hermetics, and your speech tied to your actions. Do what you say and say what you do. Now, I'm going to send some books. I'm going to send the Picatrix. It's astrology from the age of Cancer and moon magic. I'm not going to send one for Gemini. We have that. We have the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. We have the Hermes Trismegistus, Viracocha, Lord Pakal, Buddha. We have all of that. For your sun sign, I'm going to send Stellar Theology and Masonic Astronomy. For your Venus, I'm going to send Kabbalistic Astrology. And for the age of Pisces, our age here, I'm going to send Witness of the Stars, which is a Christian perspective of astrology. Take this one with a grain of salt. The man still thinks the god of fire is the god of creation, and he's very Masonically influenced as well. He did not find the stone the builders rejected, but it is a true Christian perspective of the age of astrology. But do your homework here with Hermetics. Go through the works of Confucius, Buddha, Viracocha, Lord Pakal. They all are telling the same thing. Now, Saturn's going to give you some help with this. And that's Neptune. I told you we were coming back here. Now, get ready to write down again. Because Neptune is in Scorpio, but he's in the upper house of Scorpio, which is Ophiuchus. That's Hercules. This is the hero's journey. And the hero's journey. Hercules always gets shot in the thigh with the guy on the horse with an arrow halfway through the movie. Also halfway through the movie, he finds out the king he's working for is the bad guy, which goes right along with Scorpio, and because it's about the people in your life that you choose in your life. This is your best friends and your lovers. The water in Scorpio are the people in your and you choose. Cancer is the people in your home you're related to, and Pisces are the people you associate with. Church, work, groupthink. But here, the lesson is you keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. This is also the story of Vishnu. Vishnu goes through the 12 trials, which are the 12 houses of the zodiac. He's ready to go to heaven. They tell him, great job, come on in, but you can't bring your dog. And he's like, wait a minute. I've gone through all this shit. I've lost my family, my home, my friends, my reputation, my fortune, and almost my life. My only loyal companion has been my dog. He's been ever faithful and through all of these trials with me. And if he don't deserve to go, I'm not going either. And they're like, well done. You and your dog can enter in. There's always that final test of loyalty. We're constantly being tested. So the lesson of the people in your life, the people you choose in your life, the people you tell secrets to, your best friends, your lovers, this is going to be part of your lesson. So you need to learn Scorpio, which is at the foot of your cross, right? You're on this fixed cross. So, and this is at your feet. And it's opposite where Saturn is in the Gemini there. So you need to learn Scorpio, learn the lesson of who you pick in your life. And that's about secrets as well. Now, Saturn gives you 30 years to learn the lesson of Gemini and to make your words and your actions the same. And it has to do with your friends and the people you choose in your life as well. And he gives you 30 years, and then you come to your first Saturn return. we change. You will always be your natal chart. But we take on different characteristics as we grow. And in our Saturn returns, we see this. We can see the change in us. Also, when you talk about a Saturn return, what is it to start with? What is a Saturn return? Jesus started his ministry at 30 years old. That's his first Saturn return. It's a rite of passage. It's an initiation right into the mysteries. It's a time in your life I call the true age of accountability. You're an adult now. Your parents are no longer taking care of you. For that matter, you rank up. Now it's time for you to switch roles and you begin to take care of them as they grow into old age. And your ministry or your purpose here begins. And it's going to be directly related to your lesson. So we'll go to your first Saturn return and find out what your purpose is. Now, you've already had your first Saturn return. And I need to come back to the correct time. Bring it back to 1630. I'm going to put it at 29. Give me a second to see where my pen went. It slid somewhere here. Let me pause this and go find my pen. Alright. We're still before 30. Click on Saturn. We need to write down our numbers. Let me get him in a good dark place so I can see it. I'm on Saturn. Our numbers are 95.07, 95.07, 0.15.2, 95.07.15.2. Alright, let's take off into the future 30 years, come to your first Saturn return, and find out what your purpose is. I like Taurus people, by the way. I'm Capricorn, Cardinal Earth. I get along with Taurus people better than I do anybody. I like them. I respect them. They're hard workers. Taurus people are hard. They work hard for their money, and they want to keep their damn money, too. Let me get the sun out of here. Alright, our numbers are 9507. Now, we went into a Saturn retrograde. You're going to have a double destiny. This chart's fixing to get complicated. Let me back it up before he even comes in. You're going to have a double destiny. You get 2 Saturn returns right off the bat. There's, this one don't count, this retrograde. You got extra time there. That was extra time. Now I need to come to the 950. This ain't right. This can't possibly be right. Okay. I am doing it in Taurus and he's supposed to be over here, okay? I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Watch the numbers, Levette. Okay, he did it again. So not a double destiny. I'll check it and see if he does it again. 95. 07. Bring it down to 15.2. Almost there. There we go. July the 14th, 2003 at 3:04 a.m. in the morning. This is actually good right here. Your lesson is Gemini, and now your personality's taken on Gemini, and your heart has moved here as well. I like Venus better here than I do in Aries, even though it's a cardinal sign. The mutable cross is the adept. The fixed cross is a master, so you're on the master cross, and the cardinal cross is the grand master. Mercury moved into Cancer. This is the divine feminine here, ruled by the moon. It's also the house of the destroyer, but this is Mama's house. These are the people in our family. So it's like you're You've taken over the role of the voice in your family, and your nature has gone from bullheaded to very pliable, mutable, flexible, hermetic, just like a reed that bends in the wind. Jupiter in Leo. This is the foot of the cross. So your Jupiter, your desires and your belief have done a 180. I want to talk about Jupiter here because this is the house of confusion, right? You've gone from karma, you reap what you sow, to confusion. But this is something else too. This is about courage, a big courage. When we talk about the fixed cross, Regulus is the nail in the foot of the Messiah. Aldebaran, your star in Taurus, is the nail in his right hand, as Antares in Scorpio is the nail in his left hand. 3 people showed up at the crucifixion. Mother Mary, which is represented by Cancer. This is the divine feminine, maritime law, the moon, Mother Mary. This is the other Mary in Virgo, or the woman with the alabaster box who washes his feet, Regulus, with her tears and dries it with her hair. She is the damsel in distress. That makes this character right here the only apostle that showed up at the cross, and that was John the Beloved. He wrote the Gospel of John, the books of John, the book of Revelation, and even the Revelation of John in the Nag Hammadi. He was the only one who had courage. All 3 of them are in confusion. They don't know why her son, her lover, and his master is being crucified. But it is a sign of courage, bravery, but confusion. Is Jupiter retrograde here? No. Is Mercury? Mercury, no. Venus, no. Good. See where everybody else is at. Now you've got Mars, and your actions are now in Aquarius. This can be iffy. I like Mars here because your actions are that of the Christ. Your actions are Christ-like. Is he retrograde? No, good. The problem here is that Jesus was the self-martyr. No man takes my life. I lay it down. Your actions, nobody's doing this to you but you. It's about taking responsibility for yourself. But it is also in a line with karma. You will reap what you sow. Your actions are going to boomerang you here. So be careful. Don't become the self-martyr. You must, when Mars is here, you must take responsibility for your actions. Now, here's that moon. He's still all by himself. So now you've got, this is funny, because now you've got the sun in a hermetic air sign, and it's opposite the moon. You're still, you don't let anybody see you. Gemini is opposite Sagittarius. So people see you as the philosopher. This is the philosopher. And you're still a loner. It might be directly tied to your imagination. You're so off in your head. But you're not letting people see who you are. And this is a full moon. 99.7%. You can go ahead and call that a full moon. Very powerful personality. But a loner. You're just a damn loner. So now you're here and you've got all this going on. So what is your purpose? Neptune tells us that. Capricorn. Wow. All right. I'm going to tell you everything I know about Capricorn. Let's see if you've still got your imagination first. Our numbers are 312-18163. We're watching the 18163. Yep, that's a good thing. Here's another bonus. This Neptune retrograde is in Capricorn. You don't know how big of a gift this is from Saturn. You will have the opportunity to manifest your daydreams in 2020. This is really important that you do your shadow work now and you ramp up and you dream on. Let's talk about Capricorn because it's Saturn's house. And you're a bull, right? You're this bull. You will always be a Taurus even though you start taking on other personality traits as we grow. You're still Taurus. Now, let's talk about, to understand Capricorn, let's talk about Taurus and Aries, the other two animals. Aries, there's a channel called Angry Ram. And what the ram does, when he headbutts something, he never takes his eye off of it. He backs up and he butts it again. He comes at it head on and he just does it over and over and over and over. It's determination. It's coming at the problem straight on. Taurus, on the other hand, the bull digs in. He makes a lot of noise and you're not moving him. He's immovable. He's bull-headed. The goat's very different. A goat will wait. And he'll just eat his grass and watch you out the corner of his eye. And when you turn your back, and when you least expect it, here comes the goat and he butts you in the ass. A Capricorn is patient. They'll wait decades to get what they want. All earth signs have things in common. And one, they're hard workers. Two, they are frugal with their money. They work for the money. It's about security. Earth signs, it's very important to them that they have, and especially Taurus, it's about having a roof over your head and knowing it's going to be there tomorrow. A Taurus person is going to save their money for the future. They save. They spend money funny. A Capricorn, if a Capricorn's going to spend money, it's going to be to meet another person's need before their own. A Virgo is going to spend money on their self. They'll splurge on their self. A Taurus person spends money to impress someone. He might spend it on himself. He might spend it on the other person. But it's a motivational spending. They spend money to get somebody's attention. Otherwise, earth signs are always frugal. They're thrifty. If they splurge, it's Capricorn, somebody else, Virgo's self. Taurus can go either way, but it's the motive behind it. Now, Saturn rules Aquarius and Capricorn both, and they're very much alike. We talked about Aquarius being the self-martyr, the one who serves the many. Saturn in Capricorn is government, education, military, post office, firemen, policemen. These are civil service jobs. It's where the one serves the many. I even consider a waitress in that. Any job where you're working for the whole of humanity. The same with Aquarius. Saturn is the same. It's not, the individual is recognized, but it's about the whole. It's the bigger picture. So, your purpose is service to others. This could be military. This could be education. But this is what you're supposed to be doing. Cardinal Earth, Capricorns are CEOs. They're generals. A rabbi only wants to marry a Capricorn woman because she's going to run the house well and she's loyal to a fault. You don't have to worry about your Capricorn woman screwing around on you. They're just loyal. You can depend on them. It's a cardinal Earth. Now, it's feminine, it's black. What else can I tell you? I'll tell you the story of the stars here. These stars, Algeti, Deneb Algeti, that's the Jedi. The story here is when Anakin Skywalker walks into the Jedi temple and kills the younglings. The translation for these stars are the lucky ones of the slaughterer. These are the ones that got away. The scapegoat. Right? Learning this to be the scapegoat there. Capricorns are confident, and they tend to be loners as well. Right? Capricorns have a hard time communicating with others, except for maybe a Taurus. And then there's going to be that little bit of war there because you got a goat and a bull. But nonetheless, so Capricorn, learn everything you can about cardinal Earth. And that's your purpose, is the service to humanity. Now, let's go find out how you do. Saturn, because he rules this magic circle, he also rules old age and the golden age. And because he rules karma, he's got a payoff. The law of equivalent exchange requires you reap what you sow. So Saturn has a payoff, and he only has two answers. One of them is, depart from me, I never knew you. And you end up in old age, alone in some old folks' home, miserable. The other one is, well done, good and faithful servant, enter into the golden years of the golden age. And he can also restore the years the locusts have eaten. So let's go find out. It ain't too long now before you got your second Saturn return, and find out what your payoff is. Our numbers are 950715. There we go. September the 6th, 2032 at about 12:30 in the evening, afternoon. Wow. You went straight to the foot of the cross. You've taken your Mars there. You've taken your Mercury there. You have become John the Beloved. You got a problem with your heart. Venus is debilitated here. At least you're not alone. That's a good sign. And you have this day moon thing going on here, where the sun is in the sky at the same time as the moon. Mercury combust of the sun. You have no voice. Venus is debilitated. Jupiter is in the house of philosophy. Actually, this don't look. Let me see if you have a retrograde in this. Let's move him up and see when he's pulling his retrograde here. That's what I thought. That didn't look right to me. So, your one destiny puts you in a bad light. Let me write this down. Let me get a piece of paper and write this down. We have Mercury is combust, Venus is debilitated, and Jupiter is in the house of philosophy. None of that was good. And that was on 9/6. And let's get the next date. You got a split destiny coming back. Oh, I gotta click on the planet first. Nope, I need to go this way. 9507. I'm at 9508. One 152. Come on. We're looking at November the 30th. There we go. November the 30th, 2032. Let's see what this one looks like. Mars in mutable Earth, the Moon and Mercury in Libra. That looks better. The Sun on the fixed cross in Scorpio. That looks good. Venus and Jupiter. Oh, Jupiter in Capricorn. Yes. That's much better. This is much better. Let's see. We went backwards. And we went 1, we went back into it. Will there be a third? Yes. There's going to be a third hit here. Hold on. Let me get on him. Let him do his thing. He's going to go backwards. And then he's going to turn around and come back again. You're going to get 3 shots at this. This is the only one I've ever done that went 3. I've done 2s before, but never a triple destiny. You're going to have some serious choices to make. 9, 5. We need that 07. Come back. 1, 5. There we go. May the 22nd, 2033. The sun is back in its own house with Mercury. That is fabulous. This is the one you want. Right off the bat, I'm going to tell you right now, this is the one you want. Out of all 3 of them, wait for the third one. Because here, this is restoring the years the locusts have eaten. Mars, now your actions are philosophical, and he don't mind being in Jupiter's house. Moon conjunct Jupiter, Jupiter back in its natal position. This is another restoring the years the locusts have eaten, conjunct the moon. People see you as the Messiah, the Christ, and your action, your desires, and your belief are back there. Venus is exalted here. This just keeps getting better. This one is beautiful. You want this one. Whatever happens, wait. Just wait till this date. Don't, you're gonna have to bear the brunt of those other 2. But all I can tell you is hold on. Because this is 1, 2, 3. That's like a triple play on a bonus, what I call restoring the years the locusts have eaten. And it's very well that part of that locust eating time could be between these 3 Saturn conjunctions. Because the reason they call Hermes Trismegistus, it means thrice majestic. Hermes, 3 times great. It's because of retrogrades. Because he passes in front of the sun 1 time. Then he backs up. And then he does it a 3rd time. So we can see him cross in front of the sun 3 times. And that's what's happened here. You literally hit your birthmark 3 times on your 2nd Saturn return. It reminds me of when they're in Daniel, when he's counting the days, and he tells him, it's going to be 3.5 years, this 1,200 and something days, but you need to wait. You wait 40 extra days. Wait. That's when the real blessing comes, and that's what this reminds me of here. So hang in there. The first 2 are going to beat you to the ground, but you will be rewarded. That reminds me of the hero's journey. Same thing happened to Hercules, right? He's been shot, then he finds out the king, his best friend, has betrayed him and has been betraying him his whole life, doing nothing but using him, and he didn't know him at all. But in the end, right, going on that hero's journey. Alright, magnificent ending. Let me come back to the beginning. June 2nd, 74. My life changed drastically in 74. No, 2nd. 6/2/74 at 16:30. All right. First, for your magic circle, you rule earth magic. It's a black circle, and it's cut into 3 pieces of pie. And the first piece of pie, you have, I love the way this is like a crown. I'm sorry, but to just have him sitting in your head like that you have to be the most bullheaded person when you were young. Very rebellious too. You probably said no a lot to mommy. But your circle is black. The first piece has a symbol of Taurus and a symbol of the sun. The second piece has a symbol of Capricorn. And the third piece has a symbol of Virgo with a symbol of Uranus and a symbol of Pluto. And that's your magic circle. Your cross, which is your burden. You were already on the fixed cross and you returned to the fixed cross. I even love the way everything played out in Leo, because to me it's dynamic to be to know what it's like to be at the foot of the cross. Alright, your axis bar up and down is feminine. Your cross bar is masculine. At the top, it's feminine. Its color is black. You have a symbol of Taurus and a symbol of the sun. I say you got on like black hat or black hair, right? You got black on the top of your head. In your left hand is Aquarius. You have a symbol of Jupiter and you have a symbol of Aquarius. Now about this left hand, you've got a red glove on your left hand. I call this, you get caught red-handed. If you put your hand in the cookie jar, you will get caught. Any mischievous thing you do, you will get caught. You're a terrible liar. You have no poker face. When you lie, people see right through you. You're no good at it. Matter of fact, this red glove here, you get caught for everything you do. One, because you can't hide it. You've got on this red glove. And you will be accused of shit you didn't do just because you have on this red glove and you look guilty, right? You're the innocent one that looks guilty. Now, at your feet is Scorpio. This is really an eagle, not a scorpion. This came from the Persian fire calendar, but this is a great eagle. It's water, so you walk on water. Its color is white. And you have a symbol of Neptune here. So you've got Scorpio and Neptune. And its color is white and it's feminine. So you walk on water. And in your right hand is fire. You have a symbol of Leo here. Its color is yellow or gold. So with your left hand, you have on the red glove. Being mischievous will not work for you. But with your right hand, it's the Midas touch. You've got the Midas touch with your right hand. It's gold. So you have a symbol of Leo there. And we're told don't let your left hand know what your right hand's doing. We work with our right hands. Right? You give with your right, you take with your left. You're no good at taking. You're the giver. Alright, if you have any questions or comments, you can put them in the comments section below. I'll be glad to answer it if I know it. If I don't, we can put our heads together and try to find an answer. I'm stacking charts on top of each other right now, so try to make your questions within the next day. That way the chart is fresh in my mind. This video is unlisted. You can share the link with whoever you like. You can download it and put it on your channel. If you lose the link, I'll be glad to replace it for you at any time. I hope this video has helped you in some way. Your donation definitely helped me. I would like to thank you for your donation, but I want to thank you more for your patience with me in getting this to you. I hope it was as helpful for you as you need it to be.